He is a puppet, remote-controlled puppet. He goes there because we tell him to go there. He shoots because we tell him to shoot. He's taught himself to shoot. We didn't teach him. We told him to buy guns. Then he figured out how to shoot it. We told him to be paranoid, so he bought more guns. We told him not to tell anybody, so he didn't tell anybody. We taught him how to, we told him you should learn how to make some bombs, explosives, so he went to study that. Everything step by step by step, we have educated this man, and we have conditioned him into a warrior machine with no responsibility. We have no fingerprint. Why? We want to torture society. We want to create some massacre in society that will baffle everybody for months and months and months. Look at 9/11. 10, 11 years later, people are still baffled. It was the terrorists. It was an inside job. It was explosive. There's no answer. So what happened in the Colorado shooting, the massacre, the movie massacre, just murdered a dozen people for no reason, shot 70 people. This guy was remote controlled puppet. This guy was not in control. And what they used was either advanced technology or magic. Magic is an advanced science anyway. It's not magic. It's not mysterious. It's mysterious because we don't understand it. So they use this advanced science, these advanced technologies. They do it all the time. They did it in Mumbai in 2008 with those terrorists. Went in there and then that's it. They got caught. They got shot. It's over. They did a lot. You know, the Virginia Tech massacre. All of these isolated incidences with a lone nut. And the lone nut has no answer, has no explanation, has no real motive. What's the motive to murder children and women for no reason? There's no motive. No motive. That's the first clue. There's no motive. You look at inconsistencies with his character. He shoots everybody, goes to the car, and he surrenders. He's fully geared up. He's got enough ammunition to take out a whole police office, police bureau. He's armed to the teeth. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. He doesn't even fire a shot. He doesn't offer any resistance. He doesn't run. He surrenders because the voice in his head says, let them take you. And now he's going to be played on the television. And the voices are going to tell him what to do. They're going to make him start to act a little crazy. He's going to plead probably insanity of some sort. They're going to find he has some kind of mental illness in background. And then they'll create a story to say, well, he had mental illness, and mental illness is really bad. And why should people with mental illness be able to buy guns? And the story now becomes something else. And these people in the background, no one will ever know. This stuff is perfect. Nobody ever knows. There's no evidence. There's no fingerprints when they hijack a body. Remote control puppet. It's been done on me. They've been able to control me for brief periods. I've done some stupid things because of it. But luckily I've never had this extremism. And luckily I hate guns. So they couldn't make me buy any weapons. But they tried a lot of things and ruined my life. And I've seen, we can discuss other people I've seen remote controlled. Obviously the Virginia Tech is one. And the Mumbai massacre in 2008 was another one. And there are more. There's even in Canada. In Canada you have some. So whether it's magical technique, or whether it's some kind of mind control operation, where these people are mind controlled through computers, through psychotronic devices, through remote conditioning, we don't know specifically. Sometimes these people might know somebody who's good at hypnosis and brainwashing. They might even use chemicals. Sometimes they can drug somebody for a brief period of time, implant ideas into their mind, and then release them back, remove their memory of that occurrence, and like you look at the date rape drug the guy, alter his memory and alter his brain a little bit. He wakes up, he doesn't remember anything. Most people have other things to think about, and then when we call him again, we activate him, we put him to use. This is the storyline of the Bourne trilogy, the movies, right? The Bourne Supreme, the Bourne Ultimatum, the new movie coming out, the Bourne Legacy. So sometimes you can use an operative who's a trained fighter, and you can use them in this way. But obviously you wouldn't do this in a localized context in a movie theater, because then they'd find out the background of this kid was in the military, he was a SEAL, he was trained at the CIA. You don't want that, because that would ruin the whole story, and that would make all these agencies look bad. So you use those operatives in other countries, and they get killed off, or they disappear. But in a domestic situation, you want a lone nut. You want a crazy guy for no reason. His mind snaps. People will buy it. People buy this stuff by the buckets. People got shovels buying this story, because they'll say, well, he looked normal, but he just snapped. He just went nuts. And this is horrible. This is terrible. And then we start to focus on other things, the trauma and the deaths. And in absolutely no way am I justifying this, am I glorifying this. Murdering people is horrid, horrid, horrid act. But I am angered because they are using advanced technologies to remote control people so as to commit these acts, so as not to dirty their hands. The murderers are these magicians and these operatives and these people who work in secret, using these secret programs, these advanced technologies and advanced ideas and psychotronic devices, who are prepping these children like Pavlovian dogs and teaching them to become militants in order to serve a political purpose. That's what I'm against. The tragedy is very bad. The loss of life is terrible. But it's not just America, it's India, it's Canada, it's Spain, it's all over the world. The politicians in America now will use this as a political motivation to change the laws. So whoever did this had an agenda, and they got no fingerprints, but I know their fingerprint. I know who's capable of this, and I'm not one who's going to be fooled by any of these advanced technology, because even these things they do is still primitive. In my book, I've seen very advanced stuff. Remote controlling people is still primitive. It's well beyond society. It's completely outside of the news journalists, the media journalists, who have no idea. These people are complete clueless drones. They mean well, they know how to report, but they can't find the truth when it's outside of their box. That's the problem. The journalists are smart, but they can't see past the box. And they'll never see what I'm talking about. They'll think I'm crazy before they think about, well, that kid was a remote controlled puppet. Shame on you, you journalists. Shame on you, really. Your job is to find the truth, no matter what the truth is. Not to concoct a story to justify some kind of event. The event happened. This character is obviously a very strange situation. It's a strange event. It makes no sense. People's mind don't fucking snap. There's something else going on. I'm telling you from experience, these things are possible, they're happening, and they're happening a lot. Not just murder, but also other situations. And the only reason that an agency, a covert black op agency, would do this if there was a political agenda, and one of them is the Second Amendment in America. They want to disarm Americans. Well, they can't disarm Americans because it's written in the law. But they could increase the laws against owning semi-automatic weapons. If you took all semi-automatic weapons from American citizens, people will only be left with, 6-shooter pistols, and that might be enough to send in the militia to control everybody. You might just have to take out, maybe they only want to take out semi-automatic weapons. They say we're going to control all firearms. And the people say, no way. And then they'll find a loophole, and they'll say, well, okay, but semi-automatic weapons, you don't need them, right? Okay, the law says no more semi-automatic weapons, and that may be enough. That may be all they need. That might be all they want to take care of that situation. So that is a big thing right now, that they can't fully control American citizens as long as they have their firearm. I don't have a firearm. I'm not American. But if it's written in the Constitution the right to bear firearms, somebody going against it, I think that American citizens should stand up and not budge at all. Because that's the law. That's the law. Because I know that this kid in Colorado didn't murder those people of his own volition. He was a puppet. The other thing that happened a couple of days before this shooting was Sheriff Arpaio made a big press conference on the fraudulent nature of President Obama's birth certificate. Obviously that press conference never made it to the mainstream news, and now will never make it to the mainstream news, because now 24 hours a day it's about Colorado. So, and he made a very convincing case that Obama's birth certificate is a fraud, and there was a 1-year investigation with detailed reports and analysis. Sheriff Arpaio has been in law enforcement for 50 years. And I don't think he's stupid. I don't think he's an idiot. Therefore, he has a ton of experience. And if he makes the statement that President Obama's birth certificate is fraudulent, I think it's worth discussing in the mainstream media, and it's worth pursuing. I don't know Sheriff Arpaio. I don't know President Obama. I don't know anybody. I don't even know the shooter. I don't own a gun. I'm just trying to explain how I see how this world works. With the help of my failed mission in 2006. Oh, praise the mission. The mission, I'm so happy that mission was a failure. I'm so happy that was a failure. Because that mission has taught me so much. That mission, it's like going to get a PhD in truth. You know, if I can get a PhD in how the world really works, that's what that mission gave me. It gave me a PhD. Yeah, it didn't give me any money, but I got a PhD in how the world really works. And people can be remote controlled, whether for a minute, whether for an hour, or whether for an hour once a week for the rest of their life. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Wake up. Don't believe in the simple ideas you see in the media. Open your eyes, open your mind, because the truth is not what it appears to be.